Right now, someone is using your kindness against you. While you sit there trying to be reasonable, trying to be fair, trying to keep the peace, they are studying you. They are cataloging your triggers, your insecurities, the exact tone of voice that makes you fold. And every time you give them the benefit of the doubt, they file that away too. You are not paranoid. You are not imagining it. You have simply never been taught how to see it. You were taught to assume the best, to trust, to stay open, and that very training is what they exploited. By the end of this video, the game they have been running on you will be visible. Every move, every tactic, every pressure point. Not to make you bitter, not to make you paranoid, to make you dangerous to the people who prey on good ones. You have been the mark long enough. That ends today. Stay with me. You have blamed yourself, haven't you? You thought you were too sensitive, too trusting, too weak. You replayed the conversations. You asked yourself what you did wrong. You adjusted yourself to make them comfortable. And they watched you do it, and they loved every second. Here is the truth they never wanted you to know. Your empathy is not a flaw. It is a resource, and some people are mining it. They chose you specifically, not because you are weak, because you produce what they cannot: genuine warmth, loyalty, and an endless willingness to explain yourself. This is not personal failure. This is a design problem. You were designed by culture, by upbringing, by reward systems to be accessible. You were taught that maintaining harmony is your job, that conflict is your fault, that their discomfort is your emergency. Those are not virtues. Those are vulnerabilities that someone installed in you before you were old enough to refuse. The manipulator did not break into you. You left the door open because someone told you an open door was the same thing as being good. That is not your sin. That is your wound. And what we are doing here is closing the gate. Emotional manipulation is not always loud. It does not always scream at you. More often, it whispers, it sighs, it goes quiet. It guilts you for having needs. It punishes you for having limits. It rewards you only when you are fully available and fully compliant. By the time you notice what is happening, you have already reorganized your entire personality around avoiding their moods. That is the architecture of control. Not chains, habits. Yours. You built the cage, but you built it from materials they handed you. That means you can tear it apart, piece by piece. In the 16th century, a Florentine diplomat wrote a book they tried to bury, not because it was false, because it was true, because it described power so precisely that the powerful could not allow it to circulate freely. Niccolo Machiavelli did not write a manual for tyrants. He wrote a mirror, and the reflection it showed made everyone uncomfortable. He had watched princes fall. He had watched loyalists be destroyed by the very people they served, and he wrote down what he saw without flinching. He said this, and remember it: everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. That sentence is the operating system of every manipulator you have ever met. They manage what you see, they craft what you feel, and they do it so smoothly you think your reactions are your own. Machiavelli was not teaching cruelty, he was ending naivety. There is a difference, and today we use his lens to protect you. 6 lessons, starting now. The first weapon of the emotional manipulator is guilt. Not yours, theirs, performed on command. You know this scene. You set a boundary, something small, something reasonable, and suddenly they look wounded. The atmosphere drops. You were left standing in ruins you did not build. The psychology? Guilt is cheaper than argument. They cannot win by logic, so they win by making the cost of disagreement so emotionally high that you surrender before the debate begins. What you can do starting today: when guilt arrives, pause before you respond. Ask yourself, did I actually do something harmful, or did I simply decline to perform? Those are different crimes. only one is real. Drop this in the comments right now. I do not owe anyone my collapse. The second tactic, they move the target. Every time you meet their standard, the standard changes. You worked harder, you changed yourself, you gave more, and every time you were almost enough, they found something new that you lacked. The psychology? The goal was never for you to succeed. The goal was the seeking. A person fully in pursuit of your approval has no resources left for resistance. What you can do starting today, define your own standard. Decide what enough looks like, not in their eyes, in yours. Write it down. When the goalposts move, you stay still. The third tactic is silence, not peace, punishment. The strategic withdrawal of warmth as a behavior modification tool. You know the feeling. The temperature drops. They answer in single words. You replay every conversation trying to locate your crime. Your anxiety spikes. Your focus dissolves. You cannot think about anything else. The psychology? Silence forces you to fill the void, and you will fill it with self-blame, apology, and a desperate bid to restore warmth. They don't have to say a word. You convict yourself. What you can do starting today, do not chase the silence. Name it once. Say, I notice you have gone quiet. I'm here when you want to talk. Then return to your life. The silence only has power if you feed it with your panic. Drop this in the comments. I am the destination, not the pursuit. The fourth tactic is they make themselves necessary. They dismantle your confidence in your own judgment until you can't imagine deciding anything without their input. They criticize your choices subtly at first. They sigh at your conclusions. They offer corrections in the tone of someone infinitely patient with someone slightly limited. And slowly, you stop trusting yourself. The psychology? Dependency is control. A person who believes their own mind is unreliable will always return to the one who positioned themselves as the reliable alternative. This is knowledge for protection, not destruction. What you can do starting today, make 3 small decisions today with no outside input. Any 3. Which route you walk, what you eat, when you sleep. Practice trusting the mechanism that was working fine before they interfered. Drop this in the comments. My judgment is not broken. The 5th tactic is the trap with no exit, the double bind. Every choice you make is wrong. Speak up, you are aggressive. Stay quiet, you are passive. They have constructed a space where you cannot win. You have felt this. You express hurt and you are told you are too sensitive. You suppress hurt and you are told you are cold. You explain yourself and you are told you are defensive. You stay silent and you are told you are sulking. The double bind is not confusion, it is architecture. There is no correct behavior, that is the point. The goal is for you to feel fundamentally defective, so you will constantly seek correction from the one who defined defective. What you can do starting today, stop trying to find the correct answer within their frame. The frame is the problem. Step outside it. You do not owe anyone a response that fits a rigged question. The 6th tactic is history revision. They rewrite what happened. They change what was said. They make you question your own memory until you no longer trust your perception of reality. You remember the conversation clearly, but they tell you it didn't happen that way. You remember what they said, but they tell you you misunderstood. Over time, you stop trusting your own recollection. The psychology? If they control your history, they control your identity. A person without confidence in their own memory is a person who can be led anywhere. What you can do starting today, write things down, not obsessively, strategically. A simple note after significant conversations, date, what was said, how it felt. Your written record cannot be revised by someone else's narrative. You are not crazy, you are not forgetful, you are being systematically managed. Knowing this is the beginning of freedom. Drop this in the comments. I trust what I witnessed. The seventh and final lesson is you have been running on a deficit. Every interaction with a manipulator costs more than it returns. It's time to audit. Think of someone in your life right now. After you spend time with them, or even just think about them, do you feel expanded or contracted? More like yourself or less? That feeling is data. It is not drama. It is diagnostic. The manipulator is an energetic parasite, not in a mystical sense, in a measurable one. They take attention, explanation, justification, emotional labor, and they return drama, confusion, and conditional scraps of warmth. The math doesn't work. What you can do starting today, reduce investment before you make decisions. You don't have
You do not need their permission to heal. You do not need their acknowledgement that what they did was wrong. You need only to stop funding the excavation of yourself. The energy you recover is yours. The life you reclaim is yours. Build something with it that cannot be taken. 7 lessons, 7 tactics they use, 7 ways you can answer. None of this makes you untouchable. You will still feel, you will still care. The difference is, you will see it happening. And the moment you see it, it loses half its power. Awareness is not armor, it is better. Armor can be broken, awareness cannot. And now, the part they really did not want you to reach. You came here with a wound. You did not know exactly what it was. You knew you were tired. You knew your confidence had been compromised. You knew something was being taken from you, but you could not name it. Now you can name it. And naming it is the first act of reclamation. You are not broken. You were operated on without consent. There is a profound difference. Broken things stay broken. Operated things heal if you stop the operation. What happens next is entirely up to you, not them, you. Not because I told you so, because you understand why now. Everything that was done to you required your participation, not your consent, your participation. The part of you that hoped, the part that explained, the part that tried. The old you is dead. The version of you that apologized for existing, that shrank to fit inside someone else's tolerance, that mistook endurance for love, that figure is gone. You are a weapon, pointed at your own future. Not at them, not at the past, at what you are building next. Every morning you wake with full clarity is a day they lost their access to you. You belong to no one, not to a relationship, not to a reputation, not to the version of yourself they prefer, not to anyone who requires your smallness as a condition of their comfort. The people who needed you small will not understand this version of you. Good. Let them be confused by your clarity. This knowledge is for protection, not destruction. What you do with this clarity will say everything about who you are becoming. You are not seeking revenge. You are seeking return to yourself, to the life that was being quietly redirected away from you. Take it back. If this video found you, it found you for a reason. There are more videos, each one another layer of the map, but you will only benefit from them if you are ready to use what you learn. Subscribe if you choose, not because channels need numbers, because you need a place to return to when the tactics start again, and they will start again. This channel exists for one purpose, to give you what they never wanted you to have: clarity, precision, the ability to see games being played on you in real time. Leave a comment before you go, not a reaction, a reflection. Answer this. What was the exact moment, the specific scene, when you first knew something was being done to you? Not when you admitted it, when you first knew. Drop it below.